let's go over a situation that I am increasingly seeing in the industry and some possible solutions. So what happens, and I have seen this a lot on Facebook groups, both from the client perspective and increasingly from the therapist perspective, because the trained lymphatic therapists are very frustrated at this happening. So what happens? It starts with a client who has plastic surgery already, and they're just hearing about lymphatic massage. Either the surgeon hasn't told them about lymphatic massage, or they've just put off booking it until after their surgery date. So they have already had surgery, and they are calling, emailing, trying to Google people, how can I find this lymphatic massage that I just heard about? So the obvious fact of the industry is most of the top therapists are booked out weeks in advance. So you're not going to be able to get that appointment that same day, the next day, with somebody who has a lot of training. This is, in the vast majority of cases, this is what happens. So what happens now is that instead of waiting the week for the appointment from the trained therapist, they're also Googling and finding body sculptors. So I will say I do think that the majority of body sculptors in the industry are very ethical. They have taken courses from, top body sculptor providers and trainers, and the top body sculptor providers and trainers that I have talked to universally, unilaterally, always tell all their clients, body sculpting, these cavitation machines, they're not for people right after plastic surgery. MLD, manual lymphatic drainage, hands-on, that is what helps people after plastic surgery to reduce their lymphatic swelling and put it into the lymphatic system. But some unscrupulous providers, some poorly trained providers, some, people that took the weekend class, bought a $5,000 machine, it's not really panning out. The temptation is always there. Someone is calling, they're really desperate, can you help them? Especially if there's not a good understanding of the fact that not all ultrasound is the same. Therapeutic ultrasound that's used in the physical therapist office is good for after plastic surgery, after injury, for healing. That's what we're using it for, therapeutic ultrasound for healing. But the cavitation machine, that's not what the cavitation machine does. It's not focused on your healing. It's not focused on lymphatic drainage at all. Your properly trained therapist will absolutely tell you that the cavitation is for reducing the fat cells and not for pushing any of the swelling into the lymphatic system. So what happens? They do go to this body sculptor. They will get 5 sessions. They will get 8 sessions. However much they have this idea in their head, and the surgeon told them, you know what, you might get 10 and a little bit more, but usually the number is around 10 lymphatic massages is what the surgeon, with the top Facebook groups, that's what people are saying, 10, 10, 10. So the client is not getting actual lymphatic massage, manual lymphatic drainage. They're getting cavitation, they're getting different other types of massages like petrissage, but it's not reducing their swelling. So their swelling is settling into fibrosis. They're developing the fibrosis and they're not seeing any success with the cavitation body sculpting. So they're switching to this top therapist. They're booking and waiting the week or two to get into these top therapists, but they're expecting that their fibrosis should resolve under the treatment of the trained therapist in just 1 or 2 sessions because, quote, I already had 8 sessions. My surgeon said I should only have 10 sessions. The internet said you only need 10 sessions. So you should be able to take care of all this fibrosis in only 8 sessions. And as I hear my fellow therapists trying to tell potential clients on social media, you have not had 8 sessions, 5 sessions, any sessions of lymphatic massage unless you've actually had a session of manual lymphatic drainage. So we're going to have to reduce your swelling from the beginning. We're going to have to try to reduce this fibrosis. And no, ma'am, it is not going to be just 1 to 2 sessions. We unfortunately cannot count any of the sessions that you went if you only had machines like this cavitation machine. So what's the solution? First of all, please, for potential clients, even if you're not in San Diego, anywhere you are, you cannot expect a discount price to get you premium results. We know this. You have battled surgeons for over 6 months to get your preferred surgeon. So don't try to think that just anyone you find on the internet, especially if they have a discount price, is going to give you the premium results that you deserve. You need to book your lymphatic sessions before the surgery date and make sure you're getting Vater style manual lymphatic drainage, actual lymphatic massage. Do not let a body sculptor or anyone else use cavitation or wood therapy right after surgery. It's not just me that's out there saying this. I can tell you at least 2 other top body sculpting trainers that are telling their clients as well. You cannot use the cavitation machines. You can't use the wood therapy machines. The cavitation machine is not the therapeutic ultrasound that your surgeon may be prescribing for wound healing right after the surgery. And as always, you need to make sure your surgeon and your post-op care professionals all have malpractice insurance and a state license and certification, not just a weekend class. You need to demand and expect the highest level of education from both your plastic surgeon and your post-op care professionals.